Hello! Welcome to the Fit and Free Show with ZGALA the Art Angel. That's me. You can call me Auntie Angel if you like. And today I want to talk about, let's call it 4 exercises that are great for getting ready for snowboarding season, which is just around the corner. One of my favorite things in life is snowboarding. I took it up in my late 30s, and now that I'm in my early 50s, I'm super glad that I did. And one of the reasons is that every summer it inspires me to check in with my fitness regime and beef it up a little bit, step it up a little, do a little extra, because the more fit you are, the freer you are, and that definitely applies when you're snowboarding. You can both navigate more of the mountain and have much better chance of not getting hurt when you're more fit. This is true of many things. Snowboarding's just one of my favorites. So I'm going to start my summer routine because summer's almost over, sort of typical fashion for me. And happy to say I've done a lot of healing in the last couple of years, and in particular this last year. So I had to give myself some loving compassion, some space for my human imperfection. That's something I think we all have in common. But now I am feeling progressively better and ready to step it up a little bit. I've been going to the gym at least a couple times a week, slowly improving my strength and my stamina, slowly having less and less of these big episodes of weakness. And so I'm ready to add a layer of routine, but I want it to be a fairly easy layer because that's how I roll. So all that said, I should remind you, there's not one way. This isn't a competition. Make sure you listen to your own body, follow your own lead. This is just some ideas, some things that I find helpful to prepare for snowboarding season. They also make a nice, quick, easy, relatively easy and effective fitness routine, even if you're not into snowboarding. Let's get to it then. I'm going to come over here as I always do and start with a little bit of free arm swinging just to warm up. Get the body moving. Just check in with the spine and the alignment. This is a very easy warm-up move, which is kind of my default move because it is very easy, but it also does get the whole body moving, get the spine twisting a little bit. Encourage those arms and legs to relax. Kind of swing the arms around and whack the hips a little bit. That feels good to me. Let's get into it. Number 1 exercise that's great for snowboarding is the squat. You probably already knew that. And there are many different kinds of squats to do. There's wall squats, which if you had a wall here, it's one of the best for supporting the knees. And you can also do that with a chair in front of you. And the idea just to keep the back straight and be like you're sitting down and then getting up. This would be like a very moderate squat, and I can feel my toes trying to lift. It's not great. You want another great practice for snowboarding while you're snowboarding and not is to relax the bottoms of your feet. So I try to focus on that when I'm doing squats. And again, these are just going to run through a few examples. Put my keys there and try to not forget them for later. So you can do squats with the wall behind you. You can do squats in front of a chair, just very moderate like this. We call these more like half squats. And my favorite kind of squat, because it's more my style, is what I call sloppy squats. And I call them that because I'm not paying as much attention as would be ideal to my form, although I'm not trying to encourage anyone not to pay attention to form, because proper form is really the most important aspect of any exercise you're doing. However, as you saw, when I try to do proper form for a squat, I don't get down as far. And I like to get down all the way into a like full squat, or at least close to it, for snowboarding practice. So what I call, the reason I call them sloppy squats is because I'm gonna do a little bit of a twist while I do it. That's one of the reasons. I already said another reason is that I'm not paying as much attention to form. I'm going to walk you through what I call sloppy squats and just kind of do it from different angles. So I'm rotating just slightly in the spine, and I'm going one hand in front and the other to the side, coming up. You want to get really more rigorous about it, you can bring the arms all the way up. You can even come up onto the toes and then down again to the other side. Coming up, sometimes I clap at the top and down, clap. I tell you what, if you haven't been doing these, just like 10 of them will remind you did them the next day. And I like to work my way up to doing sets of 25 or even 50 of these. They do get some burn in the quads, but I find these are great exercise to make me feel strong and capable and flexible while I'm snowboarding. So there you have it, my own special move I call sloppy squats. Already a little out of breath from those. Another standard exercise, and one that I do like to add for snowboarding preparation, are lunges. There are many kinds of lunges. There's literally, can just step back. You could step back, and I think these might be called like, they got a fancy name these days where you're bending both knees. Bulgarian? I don't know why they call them that, but there's probably a reason. Some people do them actually with one foot up, and I find that's tough on my knee, and usually they're not holding that foot up, they're putting it on a bar or a bench, and sometimes holding weight. All versions of a lunge. I like to do like a deep lunge and really pull the hips onto the perpendicular line, pushing into that back heel. But again, there's not one way. I encourage you to play around if you're interested in getting more fit with all kinds of lunges. Lunges are great. There are many kinds. I do try to pay attention to not crunching my knee past that front toe, so I do a check to see that I can see the front toe. That's just kind of good practice for not overextending the knee, but some people like to extend the knee. Just really depends on your own body, so make sure you listen to that. And obviously these are in like the feet are relatively parallel, so we call these, I call them front to back lunges. And again, there are many different versions. I do like to do Bulgarian or whatever these are called. I call them like dipping lunges, maybe. Add just a little bit, and you don't have to step. You could do like a whole set on one side. Sometimes do that. It's kind of handy for if you're doing something else, like working at a stand-up desk or waiting for your food in the microwave or your oatmeal on the stove. Can do a quick set of these, 10 or 25 of these on one side and 10 or 25 on the other side. It's a great way to add some strength, a little bit of flexibility, Really get those legs ready for pushing snow. And still in the lunge family would be side lunges. That was a terrible way to get into one. Not terrible, but you know, not great form. Coming into a wider stance, and you can go all the way down. Do be mindful of the knee. That's kind of tough on the knee, but is one that I like to do for prepping for snowboarding. There's also a side lunge from the hip, so more of a diagonal line with a twist through the spine. I do these a lot in my sun salutation work. Can of course bring this all the way down and close the hip and come into a real deep lunge, even bend the elbows. All of these are great. Let's see about going to the other side. Trying to keep it even. Deep lunge on that side. Shifting onto that perpendicular line. Coming up. And all the way up. Those are all variations of a side lunge. And was there another one? Oh yeah. Another one that I like to do for snowboarding season that I haven't been doing, but I used to do every day, I call flutter kicks, and that's down on the floor. You can leave the head up supported or relax the head all the way down, which I like to do. And I also like to take a moment to press the low back down on the ground. And then I'm just going to do, I like to alternate pointing the toe and pointing the heel on the way down. Switching back and forth. Doing 10 or 20 or 50 of those in each way. And you can extend them a little bit more. As I mentioned, you could pick up the head. All those change it up a little bit. And these are a little bit exercise for the legs, but really they are strengthening the core. Great for the iliopsoas, that's the deep hip flexor, and great for the abdominals. And core strength is super important for snowboarding. Not everybody thinks of it, but so is flexibility. Flexibility, core strength, of course leg strength, good balance, all those things are helpful for snowboarding. So let's do a bonus move would be practicing balance. So bring weight onto one side, balancing on the right side and bringing the left knee up toward the left shoulder. I like to add some ankle rotation there for good measure. And again, I'm focusing on relaxing the bottom of that supporting foot. That's kind of a mantra of mine when I'm snowboarding. Relax the bottoms of your feet. You tend to kind of try to grip the floor when you're balancing, perhaps on the snowboard or on the floor for these exercises. And a real key to finding more stability is to relax the bottom of your foot. Bringing weight onto the left to bring in the right knee up toward the right shoulder. Again, I'm going to add a little ankle rotation because that's great for snowboarding as well. And this is great for, I like to push with my foot and stretch my arms, and then pull with my arms and stretch my leg. Sometimes if I'm feeling really on balance, bring that leg out for straightening, maybe using wall for support if need be. Bring it out even more. Now I feel like I gotta do the other side because that was not even Steven, was it? I haven't been doing them. You can see I'm a little out of balance. Bring that forward and use an imaginary wall over here Bring that to the side. Again, just a quick run through some helpful exercises to get ready for snowboarding season. You can share in the comments if you have any that came to mind that I missed, that are your favorites, that you recommend or you do or you want to know more about. I'd love it if you leave me a comment and I will respond. As usual, I thank you for stopping by. I thank you for being you and letting me be me. I thank you if you like and subscribe because that helps me out a lot. Make sure you check out the description if you want to find other ways of supporting me. I got some books down there, like the book about the Head Hutt here that I built with these hands. And lots of other great ways you can connect with me or support me. And again, I thank you if you do. Thanks for staying curious, staying courageous, and I hope you're getting more fit so you can be more free. I'll be seeing you soon. Ciao for now.